simple. I am Jill and I have a really delicious recipe to show to you today. It's a red velvet cake and I'm going to decorate it in a very unique way. I've seen this actually in a few wedding cakes recently. But along with our red velvet cake mix, I'm going to show you some other ingredients what we're going to use to make it even more velvety and more smooth. So let me show you the ingredients and then let's get baking. To make a really rich red velvet cake, you need 1 box of red velvet cake mix, 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, a 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 eggs. Now what happens if you don't have buttermilk? Some people just don't know where to find it or they just don't have it in their refrigerator. Go ahead and get the 1 cup of milk and add an extra tablespoon of vinegar and that will make your buttermilk. We're going to mix this all together. We're going to put it in a greased and floured 8-inch pans, put them in the oven. I'm going to show you a really neat way to decorate it using a cream cheese frosting. Let me get baking. Alright, it made a really beautiful rich red color. I put it into 2 8-inch rounds that I floured and greased, and I'm ready to stick it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes. I'll keep watch on it about 20 minutes in. I did want to let you know that what I do is I let my cakes sit for about 10 minutes before I put them in the oven. It allows it to just kind of feel its way in the pan before I stick it in the oven and it starts going up. For some reason it makes a more even baked cake when I take them out of the oven. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to show you a really fun, simple, actually a really interesting way to decorate a cake. Now you can see this red velvet cake turned out really beautiful and I'm showing you a layering technique. What I'm going to do here is I'm really going to just end up showing you the cake because when you have a red velvet cake, why hide it? I mean, it's so beautiful with that rich red color. Now, in the olden days, they actually used to use beets, the juice of beets to get that rich red color. Now we have food coloring, but still traditionalists still use the red of the beets because the beets, when you bake it, it really doesn't have any taste. And then that rich cocoa taste as well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking some cake, putting on my cream cheese frosting, then putting more cake. Gonna make it pretty tall. I ended up for this cake, because I'm actually bringing this to a party, I made 1 extra layer. So I ended up using 2 boxes of red velvet cake. So if it wasn't the extra one, it would be this high for the cake that I showed you how to make. I'm going to make it 1 extra layer higher, like that. And now I'm just going to be very careful of just skimming just a little bit, not too much, because I don't want to completely cover this cake. I want that red to show through, but I also want it to look like it's filled. So I've linked below the cream cheese frosting, so you don't need to worry about that. A simple recipe using butter, powdered sugar, and cream cheese. And you can add some extra flavoring. So I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to show you a real easy way to decorate the top. So as you can see how beautiful it looks, you see that red coming through. It's such a rustic look to a cake. I actually saw this as a 2-tier wedding cake and I just was enamored by it. It was so simple but so beautiful. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually going to frost the top. Now I don't know if you saw, but I put a heaping bunch of frosting on the top. And the reason I do that is that I want to make sure that none of my crumbs get into the top of the icing because I want that to be a clean. So I always put a lot of icing on top and then I scrape it. See, it got a little bit of red there. So kind of a perfectionist when it comes to decorating. I don't like that, so I'm gonna scrape that off. So what I do is I just kind of comb it towards the center with a knife or a spatula, and then I always clean it off on the edge of a bowl. And then you get that clean, so you're not dragging any more icing from the previous slide. So it's just gonna be a very pretty, very simple top. And then because it's holiday time and it's October right now, I'm going to just take a little silk flower that I found and I'm just going to stick it on the top. And then before you cut it, you could just, so look how simple that is, so beautiful and simple, actually. I just love it. It's just very, very pretty. I hope you can do this and enjoy doing it. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're always uploading new videos just for you. Thanks so much.